Okay, so it's me again. It is 3:43, almost quarter of 4 in the morning, 7/5/2024, and I'm going to give a quick update on the tropics, especially Beryl. Uh, well, let me play an intro, and I'll be right back. Hope everybody had a good 4th of July. Okay, let's do this. You may see me because I'm outside. Do something like this. Hold on a second. Here, that's for the mosquitoes. This thing's really awesome, and I just fixed the entire freaking thing. Took it apart, fixed it, um, and it's a zapper. Because the mosquitoes are just horrid right now. But it's nice out. It's 70 degrees out, and it's 3:45 in the morning, so we're not gonna worry about the freaking mosquitoes. All right, let's get to this. Uh, First, I'm gonna play this here, and then I'll get into some maps of my own. But I wanna. This is coming from KHOU 11, and this is they're saying this is live, but it's really not. This was 6 hours ago, so let's try this here.
Moving west northwest, it's now moving due west at 16 miles an hour. So it looks like it's going to go in south of Cancun. There's the center, maybe even south of Cozumel. Also, you can see that the storm has become more symmetrical this evening. Wind shear has let up as well. So that's what's allowed it to go back to Cat 3. So it's going to go in as a major hurricane early in the morning. And then as it crosses, still enough land interaction to weaken it down to a tropical storm, says the Hurricane Center. Then across the Gulf, and it looks most likely now that it will make landfall here near Brownsville or south of Brownsville in northern Mexico as a Cat 1 hurricane. And then after that, the questions really get going because some models turn it north into Texas, others take it more west into Mexico, and that will have big implications on how much rain we end up getting out of this in Texas or Mexico. This is going to become a rainmaker, as these tropical systems often do. So let's look at a couple of things. Here's what's steering it. There's actually a little low right here. See that counterclockwise rotation? That's kind of pulling Beryl along to the west. And as that low moves west, Beryl just kind of comes with it. And that's the big reason why the models are taking this into northern Mexico, South Texas. But after landfall, it weakens, but you can see all the moisture it's going to drag in with it. Now, this is the American model, the GFS.
All right, so let's. I'm going to keep that there because I think that's on a loop, anyways. And let's take a look at the storm here. Okay. So I'm going to put this on. Very good. So I just added the forecast line here. But here's our system right now as of 1 o'clock on Friday. There'll be another update coming out fairly shortly here. And this is going to make landfall here right around Cozumel, Mexico here fairly shortly. But let's get some messages here. So this is the latest 10 p.m. Central Daylight Time here, Thursday, July 4th, advisory 26. So this has had a lot of advisories. And the funny thing is, I'm trying to remember the hurricane that happened. I think it was back in 2005. I could be wrong, and I'm going to have to look into that. I didn't have enough time last night, but I think it was Hurricane Emily that had almost the same exact path as this. It was a little later in July, but it very similar to this system here. All right, so heavy hurricane force winds, dangerous storm surge, and heavy rainfall are forecast to begin within the next few hours across the Yucatan Peninsula with a hurricane warning area. We'll give you that in a second. Residents there should shelter in place through the passage of this hurricane. So let's do this. Your wind advisory here. It's going to get plowed, right? So this is just to kind of miss Jamaica by that much, right? Jamaica got hit, but it got hit basically on the southern side, and it didn't really get a direct hit. You're gonna die too over here. There you go. There you go. The sweet sound of a burning mosquito. Freaking awesome. All right. So these are right in the center here. So the tropical storm force winds probably go about, I don't know, 100 miles out from the center. So this is basically and everything's going to happen on the eastern side. So even though Cozumel's going to get hit, the brunt of all of the rain and water is going to come in on the eastern side of this. Cuba's probably feeling a little of this too, but they're not. They're getting surge, and let's see here. These are rainfall totals. A lot. 10 plus. These guys are going to get literally hammered, especially on the eastern side. I wouldn't be surprised to see some tornadoes pop up in here. 10 plus locally, right in this very almost like the surrounding center of the storm here. And you'll see 8 to 12 here. This was issued yesterday at 12, I think. Right. So, hey, get a look. See, how are you? Good to see you. I can't believe there's somebody up right now. That's amazing. Besides me. All right. So what I want to do now is let's take a look at it, because this one here, this system here, seems to have a mind of its own. I'm going to try the Gulf of Mexico loop because, as you remember yesterday, it was kind of brushing Jamaica here. It plowed right through the Cayman Islands here, but they were expecting this to weaken a little bit more than this, but it hasn't. In fact, it's actually gone up a little bit. I'll get that stuff in a second here. It does look like it's trying to get its act together here, with more of a, circular motion here, but it seems to me that it's starting to get a little bit more shear here as it enters the coast of the Yucatan Peninsula here. It looks like it's starting to get some more shear, but let's take a look and see what's going on here. Give me a second while I get rid of some more fucking mosquitoes. There we go. Gotcha. Let me go to something besides this here. I want to check this here too. So yeah, this is this is not a bad hurricane here. This is I think this is actually starting to intensify a little bit here. But let's believe it or not, this system right here that's draping across the the central part of the United States is actually helping this stay a little bit more south than, and that's a good thing for Texas, because if this system here wasn't arriving at this exact time, um, this here might have shifted a little bit more north here. But let's take a look at the water vapor and we'll figure this out. Yeah, you guys are getting, I'll check that out for you. Yeah, it's going to be a pretty rough day for especially central part of the United States here. It's going to push our way too. It's really muggy here, which is great. All right, so let's do this here. So what this is this is the mid-level water vapor image here. This is what I like to go by because I can see things a little bit better this way. So you have a little bit of a disturbance here. This is an upper level low here, and it's causing a little bit of dry air to this is probably what's because this system here, this hurricane has been traveling at like record speeds, like 22 miles an hour is, you know, Mario Andretti type speeds for a hurricane. So it's starting to slow down just a little bit, and it's probably because of this upper level low here. And it's going to take some time for this to kind of wait for this thing to kind of move to the west a little bit before it decides it wants to take off again. So, but this here is the big player. This is the ridge of high pressure here that's swirling around here, and it's keeping this storm from taking a right here. So this is going to have to kind of carry on like this here and wait for this low pressure system to kind of move itself out of the way before it does anything. And this, oh, sorry. This is the system here that Get a Look-See is talking about here. This is, I can probably do that right now. I don't think I'm going to get an infrared right now. Yeah, this is the system here. So this is what's going on here. Oklahoma, western Oklahoma, even eastern Oklahoma, off to the east here. This is probably going to be firing up all day. Let me so this is what's going on here. This is a pretty decent sized low pressure system here, which is circulating all of this warm air into cooler air, and it's just firing up these storms here. And this is going to be going all day. This is going to push east. So if you live anywhere west of the Rockies, east of the Rockies, I mean, this is going to be an all day occurrence here. But let's get back to Beryl here. So this is the air mass here. See this upper level low here. I'm going to have to go to the Gulf of Mexico. But see, this is what happened here. This This ridge of high pressure that came down here and was supposed to set up shop around here somewhere in the Gulf of Mexico actually split into two high pressure systems. You have one here, and then you have one here. So here's this dry air. So this and this are almost like a pinball machine here. These two systems here are going to prevent this from heading up this way here, which they like to do. They like to come over the Gulf here and then curve up. But these are not going to happen. It may go around this. So once this gets into Texas here, this is going to produce a lot of rain for Texas, Oklahoma later in the week. Southeast Missouri. Are you in Missouri? Let me yep. You got a flash flood warning. Hold on a second. Let me I can come back to this. So you got these guys are getting pummeled here with rain. Flash flood warning here. This seems to be a hotbed this year, right in St. Louis, the Ozarks. See, this is just climbing into this cooler air here, warmer air here. I mean, I'm sorry. Look at this. You never see this. This is weird. High. All this high pressure here is creating just a tremendous amount of freaking heat. Look at all this heat here. And it doesn't look like there's going to be any significant rain. You know, like cooling rain. This is all going to be muggy rain here. But this system that's dropping here is also helping push this high pressure down here into the Gulf to prohibit this storm here from coming into the bayou here. So, you know, you take it as you get it. This is a very strange summer pattern here with this. Let's see what's going to happen tomorrow. Yeah, so you see all these disappear here. So everything's going to be unstable wet east of the Rockies for sure, especially tomorrow into Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee. It's all basically going to shift right here. And then day 3, we're going to get pummeled here. And let's see where this has Beryl here. So this is going to be, you see this dropping here. It's going to be nice for a little while here on Saturday. Sunday, I mean. I think this is Sunday. And then you might get some stormy weather here as this peels off to the coast here in South Carolina, North Carolina, parts of Virginia. But let's go back here to. I mean, that's the problem with this weather lately. Is it's here too. Like we've been getting rain, but the rain that we get really doesn't freaking do anything. It's usually downpours, and it's not significant like drizzle rain. It's just it actually probably does a little bit more harm than good, and it doesn't really cool anything off. Um, it's just a mess. It's a hot mess. I mean, I like it, but none of the vegetation around here likes it. Um, so I'm going to go back to this here. In order for the rain to do any good in the summertime, you got to get like a day or two of rain for it to really get into the ground. But the problem is, it rains and then it just lifts. So that's not good either because you can get tornadoes that way. Hold on a second. So let me go here. So I'm gonna go back to this. I want to get a better look at this here. So these are the cloud tops. So wherever you see the darker shading here, that's way up. This bluer line here, that's down close to the surface. But these cloud tops here are they're getting hammered right now. I think that's Cozumel right there. Uh, they're getting blasted. This is not good for them. Wow. I mean, it's pretty symmetrical right here. I'm surprised there isn't an eye right there, but that could be because of some of the shear it's getting from the west here. See this last frame right here. This is how we used to do things years ago. We used to have the longitude and latitude lines, and we used to put a dot here where the center is, and then put another dot, and then put another dot. You can see this last frame here. I think this is a 24-hour loop. No, this is 12-hour loop. Okay, so I didn't want that. You can see this last frame right here. It instead of going northwest here, this last frame just basically pushes it just due west. So this is going to be the turn that everybody's been waiting for here, I think. So this here, instead of, if this high pressure wasn't here, this would do that. This would keep going northwest here up to us here, but this western jog right there is telling me that it's trying to stay away from this high pressure here, and it's going to start doing this westerly track. But let's see. I'm going to have to get out of here. For some reason, I can't get into the Hurricane Hunter stuff. They might have blocked me, if that's possible. Okay, so let's get a track here. Actually, let's take a look at the sea temperatures here first. So here's the Gulf of Mexico here. This is Florida, Texas over here on the west. There's Cozumel, right? I mean, there's this is Yucatan Peninsula here. There's the Bay of Campeche here. Here's the Gulf Coast. So this is plenty warm enough in here. Once you get into here, it starts to cool off a little bit, but you know, these sea surface temperatures are fairly warm for this time of the year. Look at how freaking cold they are up where we are. Good God. Yeah, that's pretty. That's what these systems need. They need that warm air. I mean, it's, and these temperatures go down a good 1.5 miles. So, all right. So, and these are the anomalies here. Again, here's the Gulf of Mexico here. Here's Yucatan. And you can see they're one above here. You know, and that's good enough to keep this thing. That's why I think, like I said last week, this once it gets in the Gulf, all bets are off, because I've seen these things happen before where, you know, they predict that these things are just going to fizzle out once they get over land here and cross the peninsula here. But once they get into the Gulf, man, this water here is so warm and so. The Gulf of Mexico is there's like a breeding ground for tropical systems. Once you get the twist in the atmosphere, it's there's got plenty of warm water. So this is definitely going to, once it gets across the peninsula here, it's going to definitely re-strengthen here before it hits land. I got no doubt in my mind that that's going to happen. But let's get a. I said that last week. It's. They say the same thing all the time. They always say the same thing. It's just gonna go back down to tropical storm and then fizzle out. But that never freaking happens. It just doesn't. Not in the Gulf. Not this time of year. I think that's why they probably. I hate my computer. All right, so this is a 7-day here. This is the ensemble. I'm gonna rock this here. Okay, so let's wait for that to get back down. Okay, so here we are right now. This is where basically the center is in here somewhere. Here's Yucatan Peninsula here. There's the Gulf here. So let's start this here. So this red line here, the darker line here, this is when they do these spaghetti plots here. This redder line here is more of the consensus, and I think this consists of, you know, the more popular models like the European model and the American model. Myself personally, I go by the European model because it's always more accurate. I don't know why that is. The American model is getting better, the GFS, but I always go to the European models a little bit. So here we go into the bay here. And this is a 30-hour forecast. So this is 30 hours from now. So it's going to be re-entering the bay here, Bay of Campeche here. The water in the Bay of Campeche is a little bit cooler normally than when you get into the middle here. But see, it's going to... I've been saying this for like the last week, man. If you live in Texas, if you live in Texas all the way up to, I would say, the Louisiana border, I would pay attention to this, because this high pressure system that's over here is not that strong. So, and this system that's killing the central part of the United States right now with thunderstorms and stuff, that's going to move east. So I have a feeling this system is going to try to get in behind that, right in here, or maybe even right in here. But like I said, if you're in Brownsville all the way up to Houston, I'm telling you, man, this could be, because this is going to re-intensify once it gets in. If it stays over water long enough here, it could re-intensify to a 1 or maybe Cat 2 hurricane here. And this has made a long trip from the center part of the Atlantic Basin here all the way through the Caribbean, all the way through the Gulf of Mexico. So it's going to be bringing a fucking ton of water with it. So let's... yeah, it's... I don't know, man. Mine too. I'm saying that, bro. Oh. See, the Gulf of Mexico is a little different than the Atlantic. You know, the Atlantic, you can kind of, you know, you have all these steering currents in the Atlantic, but technically in the Atlantic, all you have is the Bermuda high there. So that's going to tell you where things are going to go. Once you get into the Gulf, anything's possible, man. It's and this whole forecast has been changing to where this is going to actually take that left. But we'll see. I don't know, man. But like I said, if you live down here in Brownsville, all the way up to Houston, and you know everything's going to be on the eastern side of this, so you could get some feeder bands in here around the Louisiana border, because everything's going to be on the right side of this. You could see, you know, Brownsville could see 9 to 10 inches of rain probably this year. But even as far north as east of that, you know, you could see a tremendous amount of water coming in here. But that's just my guess. Let's do one more here. This is the GFS single model here. So this is the American model here, just the American model here. This is the American model has this actually going more north than the European model. The European model has this kind of going down into here and then up. But the American model takes it more north. And this is the probable. And it's going to try to go right around this high pressure here, right? It's going to go right on the back side of that high pressure, because it's just not strong enough to keep this thing from going into the more of the Mexican coastline here. It's just going to come up. But other than that, there's nothing going on. I mean, the Atlantic looks really nice right now. There was this system here that just basically died once it got into the Caribbean. Well, if they're not storms by the time they get into the Caribbean, they're not going to form. That's just the way it is. It's a rule of thumb. If they form out here, then they got a chance of getting across the Caribbean. But if they don't form into either a tropical storm or a hurricane, by the time they get into the Caribbean, it's not going to happen. I don't know why that is, but all right. So that's it. Let's go back to this guy here, see what he says.
and it brings the moisture into Texas Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And so the GFS rainfall totals are concerning to us because 5 to 7 inches central Texas, that's close to Houston.
If it takes that more northerly track, this is this 5 and 7 here is actually, to me, a low estimate, because this thing here, like I said, has been traveling over water for a very, very long time. This is the, what is it, the 26th advisory here, probably somewhere around there. So this has been going for days, a long time. That may be an underestimate there. I would put this at more like 6 to 10, 6 to 8.
We could have some very rainy weather early next week. We could. Other models still take this further west. This is the European model. It takes it further west into Mexico. So it's deep South Texas and Mexico. They get the heavier rain.
That would be the better scenario, because if it takes this track here, it's going to dump all the water into Mexico. It's not going to really pour too much here into Texas. But if it...
we don't get much in that scenario. So that's the big question mark right now. We'll be watching that very carefully as that forecast.
Texas floods quick too. It's not like they can flood pretty quickly, especially down there. I'm going to try to get another one here for everybody. Let's do this one here. Four hours ago, 6 hours ago, stream 3 hours ago. Let's try this one here. This is coming out of Tampa. A second here. Let me try to. Hey, Necessarily Evil. Hey, Barbara Hall. How are you? Good to see you. You can't sleep? Oh, that sucks. Hey, buddy, what's going on? Let's, give me a second. I'm going to put this on here for us. Sorry to hear that you can't sleep. I'm good. Just got out of work a little while ago. It's 70 degrees here, so it's fantastic. Can't complain. I could, but nobody's going to listen.
In the water tonight, Hurricane Beryl. Less than 2 hours ago, it strengthened.
Hopefully nobody in this chat lives in Texas, especially down in southern Texas, southeastern Texas.
To a Category 3 storm as it moves toward Mexico after swiping the Cayman Islands. The storm is now blamed for at least 8 deaths across the Caribbean. Cleanup is underway in areas already hit. The storm wiped out most homes on Union Island in St. Vincent and the Grenadines earlier this week. Drone video released by the Office of the Prime Minister of Grenada shows the extent of the damage on the island of Carriacou. And in Jamaica, guests at a resort in Montego Bay woke up to downed trees and bent trees this morning. The hurricane winds also ripped some plaster from walls and damaged awnings at that resort. 10 Tampa Bay is their hurricane headquarters. And meteorologist Bobby Deskins joins us right now. Bobby, Beryl is now headed toward Cozumel, which is obviously a big resort a lot of folks from here go to.
The other thing, too, is they wanted this to kind of weaken before it got to the Yucatan Peninsula, but that didn't happen. This shearing here hasn't really been doing all that much. So this this just went from a Cat 2 because it kind of weakened as it went over, parts of Jamaica and parts of the Cayman Islands. But it got back up to Category 3. So this strengthened a little bit within the last 12 hours or so.
Quintana Roo is a town just south of there. Looks like the center may come in there, but the north side where the highest winds are going to be between there and Cozumel.
Does he live on the southeastern part of Texas? I had a question for Barbara. Has anybody talked to the person that was working at that convenience store that night when your son went missing? Let me know if anybody talked to that person. Barbara Hall is an amazing person.
Cozumel going to be pretty close to it. Cancun's a little bit further to the north. That's tonight, midnight through about noon tomorrow. It has re-strengthened. Category 3, 110 earlier, 115 mile per hour winds now. 111 is getting into that Cat 3 range. Let's take it live out there right now.
So the other problem when you get to Texas, when you get to this storm gets to Texas on the eastern side, you also got to watch out for these systems are notorious for spawning smaller tornadoes. So nobody ever talked to her, that person. That's strange. The cops never talked to that person at 9:11 in the morning. Okay, thank you for letting me know that, Barbara.
To the satellite, and you can see that it went just to the south of Jamaica. So technically no landfall. However, at that time, the highest winds were on the north side, so it was just raking there on the southern side of the coastline. And then Grand Cayman right here. This
Cozumel here is going to get freaking buried. I mean, it looks like this system here has a beeline for it. But that last little jog there went from going kind of northwest to almost due west right there.
parts of the Caymans here. It stayed well offshore there, but however, they still get quite a few quite a bit of wind, and the surge, the waves, the surge that this thing is pushing, and that's what's coming in right now.
There's the eye right there. That's the eye of the storm right there, and you'll watch in the next couple of frames here. That eye catches up to these thunderstorms, so that's telling me that this is starting to form another eye wall here.
There it is. There's Cozumel. Cancun is up here. Quintana Roo is right about here. We think it's coming in right where that line is, basically. So they're going to get the north end of that overnight tonight. So there's the close-up picture. What's going to happen is this thing's...
Cozumel's going to get plowed. Look at this. Oh, it's sad. That sucks. I hope nobody we know is down there, because this is the eastern side here. They're just going to get wow. And this is actually strengthening. This is the coordinates 960. Well, the pressure's down again. Pressure was up to 971, and now it's down again. So that's telling me that it's getting better organized here.
It's going to go all the way across.
And the speed now is down to 16, so it slowed down quite a bit. It was at 22, which is super fast for a hurricane. And now it's back down to normal, which is like normal for a hurricane speed is like 10 to 15.
Across the Yucatan over the next 24 to 36 hours. As it does so, it will weaken, of course, because it's over land, but it looks like it's coming back up. This is tomorrow morning, 110 mile per hour winds. Watch this as we get into...
Your opinion means something to me, that's for sure. Never did anything about my son's debit card even being used at 9/11 in the morning. Your opinion means a lot here, that's for sure. And I'm pretty sure it means a lot to Mr. Steve, too.
Tomorrow,
I keep saying it. When these things happen, they should listen to the family more. Nobody listens to me either. But the family knows, more.
Evening.
I said the same thing when Delphi happened. I said they should have listened to Becky Patty more, because she knew what was going on that day. It's not like she doesn't know what's going on. She seems a little flighty sometimes, but that's because she's doing a lot. She's working her job, she's taking care of kids, but she knows what was going on that morning.
65 mile per hour winds, right? But it's already by tomorrow evening coming off of the coast, and then look at this turn to the northwest. We've been thinking this, although earlier it was thinking here, now it's up towards Brownsville, right? So now it's a much better chance for us to get to Brownsville, and coming back as a hurricane. This is a stronger forecast from the Hurricane Center for re-intensification. So
Yeah, see, this is 10 degrees. Listen to me, 10 degrees. It's got to be early. 10 miles. So forecast Sunday at 6 p.m. It's 80 miles per hour sustained winds in the center, right? So all you got to do is go 10 miles above this, and you're at category 2. So, and if this system, because this is just a probability here, right? So they always go down the center of this probability, but you're talking 50 miles east of this center here, and now you're talking more of a track like this. And if it stays over this open water long enough, you could see this go up. Or if it goes down more southern here, you could see this go down. So, like I said, if you're in Brownsville or even up to Houston, I'd keep an eye on this for sure, because you're going to get anywhere in this vicinity is going to get a lot of water.
we're thinking down to a tropical storm, back up to a hurricane, and by Sunday night, making landfall somewhere near Brownsville, Texas, maybe just south into Mexico. Something for them to watch. You can see the forecast models do have that big curve on it. Once it gets into Texas, however, it's going to be a slow mover at that point. And so it's going to be a rain threat for the southeast part of Texas. Now, we've been talking about this wave behind.
See, this is that system here, that other one that was kind of following in the wake of Beryl here. This is dead. This is just a rain producer here. But if this can make it over into the Gulf, I don't think it's going to. So this system's pretty much dead. There is nothing else going on in the Atlantic right this very second.
Behind it, 0 to 10% chance a weak wave would come back here. They're thinking it might have a small chance to develop when it's in here. For us here, all of these stay well.
I've been watching these storms for a while, and if they don't form before they get into the Caribbean here, they're dead in the water.
All to our south, Florida is in the clear at this particular point, and the models actually look quiet.
This could produce some more rain for Texas if it gets that far. It'll be a weak tropical wave, though, probably.
For about a week and a half or so after this. So we hope that.
All right, so let's check this out here.
Hurricane Beryl has killed 9.
So this is this was done 4 hours ago.
9 people so far in the Caribbean, ripping off roofs in Jamaica, causing a lot of damage in the Cayman Islands as well. It has re-strengthened into a major Category 3 hurricane as it's set to make landfall again somewhere in the Yucatan Peninsula. Fox Weather's Robert Ray reports.
I am anxious and a bit scared.
Hurricane Beryl continuing its devastating trek through the Caribbean on Thursday.
Steve is Steve. Steve is great. Steve's a great person. You're in good hands with Steve. Can't say enough about the guy. He's just a great person. Him and his wife, Mrs. Steve. I've been following Mr. Steve for years. Great people. He doesn't have to do this. I mean, he's been doing this forever, but he's just a good person. That's why he does this stuff. He's just great.
Stirring up gusty winds and dangerous storm surge on the Cayman Islands. Officials say a dozen shelters are open and crews are standing by for a major cleanup.
Clearing major roadways for emergency services and civilians to get through, as well as possible search and rescue efforts.
Beryl now rumbling toward Mexico's Caribbean coast, at times packing winds as high as 125 miles per hour. Forecasters expect the storm to make landfall early Friday south of the popular tourist spot Tulum. People are boarding up homes and businesses and rushing to grocery stores to stock up on supplies, though some tourists say they're not worried.
We'll be staying here because our flight's not due home till Monday. And I think we'll just take advice from the hotel and the rates that are there, but we're not too scared.
The storm is growing weaker after pummeling Jamaica as well as St.
Hey, Charlotte, how are you? Good to see you. I'm pretty sure all you guys are getting tired of seeing my face here for the last couple of days. I can't help it when there's stuff like this here. I have to come on, and it's good to see you, Charlotte. Always good to see Charlotte in here. Charlotte's awesome.
Vincent and the Grenadines this week, leaving multiple people dead. In Barbados, storm surge destroyed boats used by locals for fishing, an industry that provides income for thousands of people on the island.
I never really experienced a system like this yet at this magnitude, but yeah.
Let's talk quickly about the latest on what is still Category 3 hurricane.
Look at this thing. It doesn't want to die. It's so funny. I shouldn't be laughing. This is catastrophic shit here, but they've been telling me that this thing's going to fizzle out over here for about a week and a half, and it's actually getting stronger. It's weird.
Beryl impacting the Cayman Islands today, where hurricane warnings are still in effect. We ended up seeing Beryl impact Jamaica yesterday and then weakening a little bit as it was fighting a whole lot of wind shear. So that pressure started to climb. Now, with the latest updates from the National Hurricane Center, the forecast track really hasn't changed much. Now, confidence is increasing that there will be another landfall across far South Texas. So let me show you that with the latest data. Again, Category 3 Hurricane Beryl expected to weaken.
See, this report was done 14 hours ago, so they must have flown back into this thing because this pressure now is down again to, I think it was 964. So when these pressures drop here, that means that this system is getting tighter. And the movement was at 18 and now it's at 16. So this is slowing down at the worst possible time, right? And these are back up to, I think, 120.
And a little bit more before making landfall south of Cancun and then tracking across the Yucatan Peninsula as a Category 2 hurricane, eventually weakening into a tropical storm and then tracking across the southern Gulf. Then what happens? I do think that thanks to the warm Gulf waters, we will see Beryl strengthen a little bit more, likely.
Yeah, like I said, once these systems get into the Gulf here, all bets are off, bro. I have a feeling this thing is going to come up like this here, follow this track here, and then once this high pressure weakens a little bit, that's right here, it's going to go right around it, just kind of like this.
Up to a Category 1 hurricane before making landfall sometime early on in the work week.
So if you're in Brownsville, Corpus Christi, you could see a lot of water here within the next few days.
As a Category 1 hurricane. There are still some question marks as far as what Beryl does next. At this point, I do think after that landfall early on in the work week, we will see Beryl take a little bit more of a north.
Barbara, you do what you got to do. We're all thinking about you, all of us, me, Charlotte, everybody that's in this chat, Steve, Southern Gal. Southern Gal is a tremendous person. She's, she's just rock solid. She's just a great, unbelievable person. So take your time. Let's get some answers here, right? It's all we think about you all the time, every second of every day. Wow, that was a little creepy. Maybe not every second of every day, but you're in good hands with Steve for sure. Oh, thank you, Charlotte.
Northerly trek. Does it turn a little bit to the north and east or to the north and west? That will have an impact on our forecast here in North Texas. At this point, though, the greatest rainfall totals are still expected across central.
Yeah, see, this 11 here is probably more like it. 11, if it hits here, but if it moves a little north of this, then you could be seeing this at like 12. Halfway between Corpus. If it hits halfway between Corpus Christi and Brownsville, you could see this number move up here because they're basically below sea level over here. So it doesn't take too much to flood this area, unfortunately.
Central Texas and far South Texas, thanks to, again, the fact that Beryl will be that weakening remnant pieces of that tropical system, bringing increased rainfall totals to parts of South and Southeast Texas. For us here in North Texas, still a wait and see, depending on what Beryl does.
All right, so what am I doing now? I'm going to go one more time here, and then I'm going to play another. I want to do a little bit about this case here because I may be. Oh, shut up! I'm going to do. Where the hell am I? Right here. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit about this one here. Oops. Okay, so but I do want to go back to this for a second. I got way too many windows open here. One more here thing about this storm, and then I'll go to this other case that I'm looking at here. Oh, that's right. It's election day over there in the UK. All right, so this here, I had this up earlier when Get a Look See was here. So this is the issue here. This high pressure here. So this system here is acting like there's another one over here that's split off. One went this way, one went this way. There's another, high ridge of pressure here. You can tell it's high pressure because it goes clockwise, and low pressure goes counterclockwise. So if this is spinning this way and this is spinning this way, this storm can't go through this high pressure here. It's impossible. So what it's going to do is this system here is going to weaken a little bit. This is my opinion. And this system here is going to cross over the Yucatan Peninsula here. And once this weakens enough, this thing's going to take a right here up into the coast. Somewhere, I would say between Brownsville and Corpus Christi. That's just my opinion because of this system here. And this dry air in here is not going to be enough. You can see it splitting up already here. So this is going to, unfortunately, miss this completely. And once it stays over here in the Gulf long enough, it has plenty of potential to strengthen back to this. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a Category 3 or anything, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's a Cat 2 by the time it hits in here. All right, so that's that. I'll keep an eye on it for you. I might do another live later tonight. Yeah, me too. All right, so I want to do a little on this because I'm probably going to be covering this Sunday morning, early Sunday morning, this case here of Angela Diaz out of Houston. Angela Diaz missing out of Houston, family desperate for answers, and this was done about 9 hours ago. So we'll play both of these, and you can see I've been watching Game of Thrones here. A couple of months ago it was Mystery Science Theater. Now I'm like stuck on Game of Thrones again. It's so sad.
Pleading for the community's help to find their missing loved one. 22-year-old Angela Marisol Diaz was last seen on Monday. Fox 26's Jade Fleury is live in East Houston. So Jade, have investigators encountered any leads?
Well, this is where Angela's phone was last pinged, behind the Fitness Connection and near this wooded area. Her family tells us that they wanted to help search the area, but police told them to hold off for now. They also say she went missing on Monday, but her boyfriend didn't let her family know until days later on Wednesday.
We are missing our family. We're missing one of ours in this house.
She went missing on Monday, so last Monday. And the boyfriend didn't do anything about it until Wednesday. Mental note.
A heartbroken family searching for their beloved daughter and sister. 22-year-old Angela Diaz missing since Monday night. Her family believes her disappearance is suspicious.
So she's 22 years old, 135 pounds, 5'10". She's fairly tall. I'll have to print this up maybe somewhere.
She's a really loving girl, happy girl. You know, she don't have no reason, like the police say, to run away.
According to Angela's family, her boyfriend Christopher last saw her here at the Moonlight Inn and Suites along the Gulf Freeway around 11:30 Monday night.
Southern Gal is just great. Me and Southern Girl met on Steve's chats early in the morning. He used to do, I forget what they used to call it. He used to do the up all night chat at like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. And what a good time that was. That was great with Steve and Southern Gal and all the Waffle House stuff. It was just great.
Angela's family reveals her boyfriend told them she was supposed to meet another man at the location.
So when he called, I asked him about my daughter. He said first that he don't know her, and then told me yes. I dropped her off at telephone road.
But Angela's family says that's not where her phone was last seen. Around 4 Tuesday morning, Angela's phone.
Where is this fitness connection?
Showed her location near a wooded area behind a gym.
She was in the corner in the bayou by the forest behind Fitness Connection. And that's it. It just turned off.
Angela's family now
Why was she there?
sharing their frustration on the lack of police response to help bring their loved one home.
So we go home, do the missing flyers, and we come in the morning and they're still not there. We're there before them, waiting.
They told me they don't have the manpower right now, but time is keep going.
This is so freaking sad.
If you have any information.
It was 97 degrees down there 9 hours ago. 5:11, it was 97 degrees in Houston.
On Angela's whereabouts, you're urged to call Houston police. Reporting from East Houston, Jade Fleury, Fox 26 News.
A Houston family wants to know what happened to their daughter who went missing on Monday. Relatives are looking for 22-year-old Angela Marisol Diaz. Her family believes something happened to her because of conflicting information on where she was last seen. Troy Class joins us live with what he is hearing about this story tonight. Troy?
Well, Len, I'm here at this gym on the East Freeway where soon you'll see there are flyers posted for Angela. Now, family says that cell phone data pinged her at this location, not far away from where we're standing, but her last sighting was in a different side of town.
It's a difficult moment.
What?
As family is searching for.
Here at this gym on the East Freeway where soon you'll see there are flyers posted for Angela. Now, family says that cell phone data pinged her at this location, not far away from where we're standing, but her last sighting was in a different side of town.
It's a difficult moment as family is searching for.
Don't you hate when you get conflicting reports? It's just so annoying. This was done 9 hours ago, and the other one we just watched was done 9 hours ago. And I don't remember hear them saying that she was last seen at a different location, but
Angela Marisol Diaz.
I know this is 4th of July. I know people are partying or, with their families, but we are missing our family.
Family members last spoke to the 22-year-old on Sunday. They didn't notice anything was wrong.
Right now, but time is keep going, and she never go one day without calling us.
Family says Angela's boyfriend last saw her on Monday at the Moonlight Inn and Suites on the Gulf Freeway wearing a red dress. According to the boyfriend, Diaz was supposed to meet another man. Family tracked the person down.
When he called, I asked him about my daughter. He said first that he don't know her, and then told me yes. I dropped her off at telephone road. And I told him, well, at 4 o'clock in the morning, her phone showed that she's not on telephone road. It was on the back of the bayou. and he just cussed on me and hung up the phone.
According to the family, the man claims he dropped.
Okay, so phone pinged here. Drop off here. I'll have to download this map, I think.
Dropped Diaz off on Telephone Road around 4:40 a.m. Monday, but her phone's last location was reported Tuesday at a strip center on the East Freeway near Federal Road. Flyers are now posted in the area, and the family has filed a report with Houston police. They fear for her safety.
Please help us look for her and for the cops and for everybody.
You know, when I hear families saying stuff like this here, I just want to get in my freaking car and drive down to Texas and help find this person.
To please help us. We have tried to do our part, and now we're just sitting here and waiting.
Of course, from here, it would probably take me 4 days to get down there, but so 5:10
for you guys to do your part.
Now, the boyfriend, who was one of the last people that was in contact with Angela, did not inform the family about the disappearance until Wednesday. But again, they have filed a report with Houston police. So if you know anything about this case, you are asked to contact them or the family as well. Reporting live in East Houston, Troy Kless, KHOU.
All right, so I'll have to keep an eye on that for the next slide. I'll probably, which one? This case here? Yes. Yes, I will. Sure. This is what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to there, I just put that into chat for you, Barbara. And I'll next time I talk to, I'll just kind of let Sonigal know about it too, because I'm not really good at emailing people shit. I'm sorry. My people will talk to your people, and those people will talk to those people. But I'm going to get the hell out of here. You guys have been awesome. Just wanted to come on and do a quick live on the Tropics, just in case anything happens over there in Texas. And then I'm going to definitely be covering this case again, when we just talked about here, Sunday morning, probably around 12:30ish. But for those who know me, I probably won't be on till about 12:45ish, but it'll be around that time. But I want to thank everybody for coming in. Get a look, see. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. You're awesome. Barbara Hall, you're great. Constantly thinking about you. Hope things go well. But you're in great hands. Charlotte, you're great. Thank you for coming in, Charlotte. You're always welcome here. Necessarily Evil was in here too, I think. Yes. Thank you, Necessarily Evil. You're awesome. And I think that's it. I'll play an outro. But I'll be covering this case. Oh, you're welcome. Again, if I can get some more information, I'm going to try to map out where she was last seen, the dates and all of that shit. All right, so I'll see you all later. Stay safe today. And have a great day. I'll be see you guys later.
Mm-hmm.